Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. Today, we're going to take a look at CB antennas. This is kind of like a beginner's guide, what to know about the different types of antennas that you can get for your car, truck, or SUV. Let's get into it right now. This is the first thing you need to know. There are 5 different types of mobile antennas you can get, and I'm going to start with the most popular one, and that would be the base-loaded antenna. This is going to be something like this. This is the Tram 300. And here is the beautiful Striker SRA10. And here is the old standby, the K40. Look, all 3 of those antennas use base loading techniques to get to a full half wave or quarter wave. And so what they do is they take a little winding and they put it in the base where the magnet is or where the mount is for that antenna. And then the antenna sticks up through the top of it. That's great. It keeps the weight, the profile down low. It can give you a nice short antenna. And as long as that antenna is mounted in the highest position possible of your vehicle, they tend to work okay. They're pretty good antennas. They're also the most popular type you're going to come across. Now, the second type you'll see a lot more commonly used in trucks, but is also a popular antenna for cars as well. It's called the mid-load antenna. Now, it could look like this one here. This is a President antenna. You can see the little bulge in the middle there. Or it can be fancier like this one here. I've got this on my Volvo. It's a Radiodity. I cannot remember the model number, but I'll leave a link to where you can get one of those. That's a mid-load antenna. The advantage is that as we try to get our signal out, instead of that signal being right on top of the car, or if you put it on the trunk, actually below the top of the car, where that signal's going to just kind of not hit the right places, having it halfway up the mast of the antenna allows that signal a greater opportunity to spread. So the mid-mount antenna or mid-load antenna is actually a better antenna than the most popular type of antenna. Who would have known? Now you do. Now there's also the top-load antenna. Top-load antenna, the Fire Stick is the most common one I can think of off the top of my head. It's a fiberglass antenna, but the winding is up on top. Several other companies make those as well. And that's going to be the best, when you're not using a full quarter wave and you're trying to shrink that down, that's probably the best way to get that out because you're putting those extra windings at the very top where they can transmit better at, not have obstructions like cars, like the hood or the trunklet or the B-pillar or whatever. So having a top-loaded antenna is that. But the downside to it is, unless it's got a thick enough support, like the wiring, or not the wiring, but the antenna itself going to it, in which case the fiberglass body of the Fire Stick is a good support system for it, they tend to have some issues with those things just not holding up very well, which is why you don't see the ones with like a little bulge like the President one here. And then, of course, we have the continuous windings, and that is a lot of our fiberglass antennas, and that's where you're going to have a winding that goes all the way up, all the way through the use of the antenna. These I like. I don't use fiberglass antennas on my car, but if I had a SUV or a Jeep or something like that where it would look more appropriate, I probably would. Now, I have used them on ATVs, and I've used them on a van that I had back in the day. And the continuous winding is nice because it kind of distributes that signal throughout the length of the antenna. And they're available in 3-foot, 4-foot, 5-foot, 6-foot, 7-foot antennas, so you can get them in any size like that. It's a little harder to find that in like a steel antenna, but I can say like the President New Virginia, right? That antenna is really short. It's like 21 inches or something like that. It's a combination. It's a hybrid. It's got a base load, and then it's a continuous winding going up to give it as much length as possible and give it a little better way of getting out there. And so what's the last type of antenna? And that is the full quarter wave antenna, the 102 steel whip. And I don't think they're being made currently, but they were out there back in the day. There is a 102 fiberglass whip as well. Both those antennas are going to give the best possible signal, the best possible reception, because they are actually full lengths, 102 inches tall. And if you can find a way to mount those in a high position, I did it on my Volvo. Here's a clip from that video where I did that. Oh my gosh, I was talking to Italy on that thing. So that is going to give you a beautiful ground plane on the hood of your car or the roof of your car and give you a full 102, full quarter wave, and that is so cool. So let's talk about the best, the okays, and the not so greats. Funny part is, for a transmitting and receiving antenna, the base load antenna is actually the worst style of antenna you can get. Now, before everyone runs to the comment section and blows a fuse on me, it's okay. So the shorter the antenna, the more of that load is contained into the base and the less effective that antenna is going to be. But radios like this, or antennas like the Stryker SRA-10, the Tram 3500, the K40, they're using a base load, but they're also fairly tall antennas, 4.5, 5 foot tall antenna. And because of that, your base load is not actually all that important. Yes, it's there to make sure that the SWR ratio is low, but it's not going to be doing a ton of the transmission power. But it does make a difference on something like the President New Virginia, where you're only talking about a 21-inch tall antenna to begin with. And so, you know, it'd probably have been better if they designed that if that thing was a continuous load antenna. However, I've reviewed that thing, and it actually works fairly darn well, surprisingly. Now, the mid-load antenna is going to be your next worst version of an antenna. It's still going to work better than a base load antenna, but it's still only pushing that issue halfway up the scale. And then from there, you get into the top load antenna, and that is actually still not the best answer. Really, for me, in all the years that I've tested all these antennas and ran with all these antennas and used various power with all these antennas, the two that always will stand out as the best are the continuous load antenna that I had in my van. It was placed at the very top of the van, and it was 4.5 foot stick. And so because of that, it gave pretty close performance that the absolute best antenna you can put on your vehicle, which is the 102 whip. The 102 steel whip being a full quarter wave is going to give you the absolute best. So there you go. Not a terribly long video, but I get tons of questions whenever I do video reviews on radios or antennas, and people want to know what's the best for this, what's the best for that. Well, now you know. They're all great. Length always beats any other measurement you can have as far as the height, right? Getting that antenna as high on your vehicle as possible and having that antenna being as tall as it possibly can be is going to give you the overall best performance no matter what. But when that is not an option, the way to look at it is through the load. Where is that load? Is it a bottom load, a middle load, a continuous load, or a top load? And there you go. Till next time, my friends, take care.